Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Free Play Radio. It's your boy Scino. That was Rex Life Raj, Save Yourself. Make sure you go and get his album dropping this Friday. But we got the super talented songwriter, singer, Jorden Kyle in the building today.
What's good, y'all? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, how you feeling today, man?
Good, bro. Just glad to be here. Glad to talk to you and just have some time to vent about the craft a little bit.
Right. Okay, for sure. So for the people that may be unfamiliar, where did you grow up and what brought you to music?
Yes, sir. I ain't gonna lie about that. I grew up in Tracy, California.
Okay.
I moved out to the Bay Area in 2018, so I've been out here ever since. Originally moved over to the Daly City area.
Okay.
And then this last year and a half, we moved over to San Mateo, San Carlos. So
right.
Been kicking it out there for a little bit. Yeah.
So what was the childhood like? Because I've visited Tracy. I'm not gonna pretend like I've never heard of Tracy. Y'all making a little noise. But what was the childhood like before you went to Tracy?
It was cool, man. I was outside a lot. I feel like I wasn't really into music when I was super young. I liked listening to it, but I never really dibbled and dabbled in it myself. But growing up, I was outside skating. We'd always go to the skate park. No matter the weather, we'd be outside all day, just pushing from one side of the city to the other for 4-hour ride.
Right.
So we were just doing that all the time. Had a big group of homies who would skate.
Yeah.
And then started getting into music when I entered high school. So
I've
been pushing that ever since.
Right. Okay. So what was the defining moment in high school that made you feel like music was the route you wanted to take?
Yeah, for sure. We had this video production class, and there was a couple homies. I was a freshman at the time. There were a bunch of seniors in there who would rap. A couple homies. I'm sure some people that would watch this would know them by Envy Gang, and they would always rap, and they get in little circles. Like whenever we have breaks, our professor would let us go out and shoot around the campus and stuff, and we weren't really getting no work done. We was doing freestyles and shit. So I was watching them the first few times. I was already getting into hip hop. I've been listening to 50 Cent and all those artists since I was growing up since I was little. So just kind of stepped in one day. I was nervous as hell. Felt like I was gonna throw up and shit, but we got through it and just been kind of practicing that ever since.
Okay. So what is your recording process like?
It's changed pretty drastically in the last year. If someone were to ask me a year ago, when did you start taking this seriously? I would say 2018, 2019, when I started going by my current name, Jorden Kyle.
Okay.
But I would say the process totally shifted this January when I made a dedication to do everything on my own now. I'm still working outsourcing with producers. I'm going to studios because it's important to be in person and record that process, following that process. But I think doing it in your house.
Yeah.
Having no rush, having all the freedom and time to really grind it out. That's been the process ever since January. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
No. And you say drastically. Why do you say drastically?
Because ever since the beginning of this year, I was always, I hate to use the word rely because I think music is a very collaborative field. But ever since then, I was working with other people 100% of the time. If I wanted to get something done, I would have to outsource for a beat. Or have to pull up to a studio for a session and actually get some shit done with other people. But the reason why I use the word drastic change is because ever since January, I really locked in. I invested in full equipment. I got everything set up in my room so I can really do it and push it to the limit.
Right.
Not feel like I'm limited on time.
Right. And do you feel like having that, that safe space to create has impacted you in a positive way?
For sure. I'm not only am I making more music, but the music I'm making is more comfortable. Because at the end of the day, studio environments are great, and I feel very comfortable in studio environments. I've been recording at DEO studio forever now, since late 2018 in the city. But not having a time limit has been the biggest change. Feeling comfortable. Sometimes you got homies in the room with you, and sometimes you're by yourself. But it's those moments where you feel like you're not constrained by time, where you can just open your wings and fully create and try new things. You don't feel like you're limited by time. Or
not feeling like rushed or feeling like you have to force a certain song.
Exactly. It feels great. And I feel like the music is just so different now, and I get to experiment with different sides of the sound and push things further. So it's been an amazing last few months.
Okay.
Yeah,
for
a lot
sure.
of passion poured into that. So.
For sure. No, I like that. So you got a record I want to get into. It's called Exhilarating, featuring Tyler Reese.
Yes, sir. It's my homegirl. Yep. Yeah, she's crazy.
How did that record come about?
Of course, yeah. So I was introduced to Tyler. Actually, we were speaking about Chauncey Jones earlier. It's one of the homies from Out the Way.
Shout out Chauncey.
Yeah, shout out Chauncey. It's one of this little clique I've been fucking with. I had this homie Ross, and they kind of started this Out the Way type of thing. It's like their little clique. And they have a studio over in Fremont, and I work with one of their in-house producers and co-owners named Jorden, he goes by Jorden, and I kind of met her through them. I just go to a few of their events. They have some projects coming out, and I met her a few times, and she has an insane voice. She's super talented, super down to earth, really friendly girl, and I just approached her and I said, we got to work on something, because your style is amazing and I really want to collaborate with you. And I think it's important to work with the females, get a different side of that artisticness, have a little bit of different type of lyricism, So we cranked this one out with Jorden in the studio out the way in Fremont and knocked it out in like 2 different sessions, but it turned out really good. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So for sure, but before we get into the record, let the people know that's listening where they can find you on all social platforms and where they can find your music.
Yeah, of course. So my Instagram and Twitter is JRDNKYLE. It's basically just Jorden Kyle without the O and the E. And that's O, by the way, not, that's E, by the way, not A. So spell my name a little bit differently. But the Instagram and Twitter is JRDNKYLE. My TikTok is spelled out fully JORDENKYLE. And you can find me the same way on any streaming services, Apple Music, Spotify. It's JORDEN space KYLE, Jorden Kyle.
Alrighty, let's get into it. Exhilarating featuring Tyler Reese by Jorden Kyle.
Appreciate it.
Jordan likes it on play. Cause no one feel the same. Okay, I just cashed a check and it didn't change me. I've been off a jet and it didn't faze me. Always crave a touch, I miss it daily. Fuck what they all saying, girl, I think your love exhilarating. I've been on the run for some time, yeah. With my number ones, they gon' ride, yeah. Knew it from the jump, I was right, yeah. Got me to the top, I see the light, yeah. Know how to behind that image you made in it. Send me a brand new addy while you stay living out in the hills. A million give me a chills. Living with fears and thrills. Ain't shit different. Pay me a mirror, some bills. A shorty can kick it and chill. Don't be submissive. I gotta cherish my will. No need to compare if it's real. Ain't shit missing. Baby, if looks can kill. You would know just how I feel. I'm going the distance. She told me she was never trying to come my way. Told you, baby girl, that shit was not a fake. She showing me what's up. She trying to make a play. Feel the same, girl, exhilarate. I've been on the run for some time, yeah. With my number ones, they gon' ride, yeah. Knew it from the jump, I was right, yeah. Got me to the top, I see the light, yeah. I've been on the run for some time, yeah. Jump, I was right, yeah. Got me to the top, I see the light, yeah.
Ooh, that's Marco when they say.
I got that hit in my system. I got that hit in my system. I got that hit in my system.
Timing, I was horny. It's crazy cause you hit me in the morning sunrise. Come late on me. My body doing things that I wanted to. Lately I've been going late on to you. Like you so I ain't saying. Hush hush in the low, see me on the go. Calling when I'm at the club. Hush hush in the low, see me on the go. Calling when I'm acting up. Hush hush in the low, see me on the go. All turned up, you know just what I wanna do. Put the car and drive, I'll see you back. Ready to bust down. Put the car and drive, I'll see you back. Ready for the sex down. just what I wanna do. I was fucking on myself when you had called me. Call that perfect timing, I was horny. It's crazy cause you hit me in the morning. Sunrise, come lean on me. I was fucking on myself when you had called me. Call that perfect timing, I was horny. It's crazy cause you hit me in the morning. Sunrise, down, but the car and drive, I'll see you in fact. Ready for my sex down, but the car and drive, I'll see you in fact. Ready for the hair now, for the hair now. You know just what I wanna do.
Yeah, we back at it. That was R&B and Ugly Marco Drive. Make sure y'all go and stream that. That's out now. But a quick shout out to our sponsors, Juck in the Box Hauling on Instagram. If you need a haul, you know who to call. Make sure y'all check them out. But we got the singer, songwriter Jorden Kyle in the building.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's going on, man? But I gotta ask you, bro.
Of course.
Who was probably like your biggest influences?
Yeah.
Either personally or creatively.
Of course. So I know the close homie's gonna laugh at this one, but to be honest, keep it a buck with you, bruh. I think recently, like the artist that has been speaking to me, I'm always tweeting about him, bro, is Lil Baby.
Okay.
You know, I feel like maybe my music don't really sound just like him, but I feel like he's the most prolific, you know, noteworthy artist that you can like really reference lately that kind of got popping just because people realized that he was good as fuck.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like the early tapes were dope and they were hard, but I feel like he just kind of flipped a switch one year when I think like when the song with like we S&D dropped, everything since then has just been like fire.
Right.
I would say him. But if we're talking local, I would say Rex Life Raj is one of my favorite Bay artists.
For sure.
You know, because he incorporates the melody, but he also got the lyrics.
Right.
You know, so that's what I really aspire to be like. I want to keep the lyricism. I want to have the music that goes hard, but then, and this is kind of something that you hear on my upcoming album too, is like I want to have those moments where people kind of get, you know, feel like, oh shit, this motherfucker can sing the melodies too, you know? So I want to have that good balance, good healthy balance. I feel like it's important for me.
Right. So why is pushing the envelope so important for you? Because,
you know, it's a very cliche answer, but I don't want to replicate. You know, I mean, even though I pull from different inspirations and whatnot, like I want to be my own person. I want to have my own style, and I want to have a fusion of a few different styles. You know what I mean? Because I want to get so good at that fusion that I kind of just blur the lines between different genres. You know, so that's the motivation. It's the motivation to keep learning melodies, get better at singing. I was taking some lessons late last year, just trying to perfect breathing techniques and everything, and just continuing to rap, because I always there was like a period where I took a break from rapping and I was like, you know, I don't want to rap. I feel like it's just, I don't know, I don't want to have that image of, you know, I feel like that doesn't fit me. But you know what, I had to kind of like wake up one day and be like, you know, I actually got the skill to rap, and I got to push that and promote that too, you know. So I feel like being able to balance those two styles is my comfortable spot. Right. You know. So
I feel like I introduced you as a singer-songwriter. How do you feel about the labels, and do you feel like they kind of limit artists when you get kind of put in a box?
Yeah, I feel like you can see it that way. But also, you know, at the end of the day, everyone's going to be labeled. You know, if you're doing something different, they're going to say it's different, and that's a label. You know what I mean? So I try to kind of put all that in the back of my head, my subconscious, and just push forward and continue to do the fusions that I want of genres. And if people want to look at me as more of a singer, melodic artist, I'm happy with that. If people want to respect me for my straight raps, then I'm happy with that too. As long as like I'm getting respected for some sort of my craft, no matter what corner it comes from, that's going to satisfy me at the end of the day.
Right. Okay. For sure. So what do you feel like may be your biggest challenge on this journey of craftsmanship?
Trying to find the right balance. You know, I think one thing I always think about, it's always on my conscience, is like weighs heavy on me, is damn, the last two songs I made were rap. Now maybe I got to switch it up, or maybe I've been singing too much. You know, I don't know. I feel like you hear all these artists, like, you know, Drake has a common issue with that. They're always like, oh, he's singing too much, he's rapping too much. But at the end of the day, like, I think my biggest challenge is continuing to want to push the envelope. You know, it's like it's easy to fall into one subgenre or one subcategory because you can get so good at it, and at the end of the day, human nature is we want to be comfortable and we don't want to work as hard. But I think continuing to fuse those genres keeps me hungry, keeps me motivated, and that's the challenge every day.
Right. Okay. And earlier in our interview, you mentioned how you invest in yourself.
Yep.
What was the light bulb that went off that made you feel like, I do need to invest in myself and I can't be dependent on, my peers
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Ever since the end of last year, I've been relying on people my whole career. I've been making music. I started really getting into it my freshman year of high school, so that was 2011, 2012. Put out some, little albums that I would hand out, in the school halls and whatnot. But after graduating and finishing college and everything, people drift apart.
Yeah.
People are moving. They're making life decisions. People are growing up, but I made the decision I want to stick with this music shit, bro, no matter what, through thick and thin. And if there ain't gonna be people directly in my circle that always have the time, and I don't always have, it's a lot of money to work with a lot of people all the time, So I think it was money. I think that was the big number one. I think a number two though was just realizing that at the end of the day, bro, no one's gonna fuck with Jorden Kyle more than Jorden Kyle.
Facts.
Even my close homies, my family. At the end of the day, I'm the only one who's 110% in my own corner. You know.
You have to believe in yourself.
Exactly. And so I had to invest, and I figured, I might as well put some money out up front than to continue to spend over years and years and years and not really learn anything at the end of the day because I was comfortable with lyrics. You can always get better at that.
Yeah.
But I think investing in the equipment, having a full home studio, and being able to work however, that's the best part of this journey.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So another record I want to get into yours, Mariana.
Yep. Let's do it.
This was a record that honestly you first came on my radar.
Okay.
Dope song.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Yeah. Rossi Lowe, it's Ross. It's my homie from, my hometown friend. We still talk all the time. So I think him and I, we were kind of going through it at the start of the pandemic. I was living in Daly City, and so was he. We lived across the highway at top of the hill, and it was just foggy all the time. We was depressed. We had nothing going on, no plans. Everything was shut down. We were both furloughed from our jobs and everything.
Man.
So, we just wanted to make a record that was positive, happy. Kind of took us to more of a prolific environment mentally. So I feel like Mariana with the luscious guitar sample that he put down, laid down. He produced the whole thing. So shouts out to him on that. I gotta give him his credit for that.
For sure.
We were just trying to be in a different headspace. We wanted to be happy in a time that wasn't, and we were very uncertain at that time with what was gonna happen. So I feel like the best way to be certain is to pen a record.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how that came about.
For sure. Well, let's get into it. Mariana from Jorden Kyle.
If they wanna leave, let them out the back, fuck them. Yeah, I got a bad bitch, yeah, she nodded. She tryna grab my belt, shawty, the night just started. She got so many ideas and she lay them on me. Yeah, her name is Mariana and I'm swimming in deep. Got that drip like holy water, all I can do is preach. She be riding for the click, yeah, I need her on my team. Yeah, she be Fenty out, and we be on that rosé, that shit be emptied out. And best believe we don't change, she lives at 20s out. As a beauty queen from LA, she getting just what she wanted from me. She's Mariana, Hana, you know how to work it. Mariana, Hana, you're so fucking perfect. Mariana, Hana, know that you deserve it. And now I'm right. What do you know about me? What do you know about it all? Putting up whips so clean. Now you know, girl, I'm about to fall way too deep. I don't know where they hate on me, but I know that they gon' see. When pull up with a fake OG, and I may try too hard, drive my car for your love. I look up at the stars, taste your thoughts on my tongue. I've tried to swim too long, air is gone from my lungs, and I'm still feeling you into me when I'm numb. Yeah, she be Fenty out, and we be on that rosé, that shit be emptied out. And best believe we don't change, she lives at 20s out. As a beauty queen from LA, she getting just what she wanted from me. She's Mariana, Hana, you know how to work it. I don't need no one, no. I don't need your exception. It's not for me. I don't need you around. If you ain't really down, I don't need nobody, no. I don't need. I've been on my time, trying to make time. You don't understand, better up your grind. Shout out to my side, yeah, we on the west side. More bookings, more space, all up on the line. More focused on doing me better. Me and the guys, we the wave setters. All up in your system, bringing vibes to all my niggas. And all my women that's fucking with me and all my niggas. Yeah, you can't stop this shit. Whatever slap, I bring it back and I'ma top my shit. Young little country nigga, I'ma talk my shit. Like I walk my shit, that's how I talk my shit. We on that stick talk shit. How you rich but ain't rich? Hit them folks with the sneeze, now I'm clean as a bitch. Come through with the schmeeze, now I'm slime with the fish. If you ain't mobbing with the family, then it did what it did. I don't need no one, no. I don't need your exception. It's not for me. I don't need you around. If you ain't really down, I don't need nobody, no. I don't need, yeah. I don't need no fake love, know what's up. Only keep the real ones around me showing love. I don't need no fake bitches tryna lead to dub. Niggas switching sides, yeah, we know that he a dub. Yeah, I'ma talk my shit. I don't do this shit enough and I'ma walk my shit. I always remain humble, that's as real as it gets. Moonwalking the pussy just like I walk on the hits. Can't let you hold me down, no. But was you when I needed love around, no. And it's big fast. All you do is spit cap. I don't need that fake shit around me. I don't need no one, no. I don't need your exception. It's not for me. I don't need you around. If you ain't really down, I don't need nobody, no. I don't need. Watch you talk, watch how you move. I never trust the loudest in the room. I know it's hard, that ain't no news. You set up alarms, I can't put them on snooze. Saving your shots, I'm letting them loose. All of my haters can hang at the nose. Mama just know, your son ain't no goon. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Watch you talk, watch how you move. I never trust the loudest in the room. I know it's hard, that ain't no news. You set up alarms, I can't put them on snooze. Saving your shots, I'm letting them loose. All of my haters can hang at the nose. Mama just know, your son ain't no goon. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta drop in the top on the whip, you can say that I'm losing. Tell you the life that she choosing. I fucked around and I started a movement. You get it set up, you shit, you know what up, how is you not fed up, you made no improvements. I apply pressure with every endeavor. My bitch getting wetter than carnival cruises. You cannot walk in these shows and you cannot know we moving. Now I'm just catching my buzz in the city. I put it on, right on my back. I put myself on the map. Look it up, that was a fact. Money bags be falling from the sky. No strings attached, everything fading to black, yeah. I'ma just stay where I'm at. You can just live in the back. Stadium back, yeah. Ooh, watch you talk, watch how you move. I never trust the loudest in the room. I know it's hard, that ain't no news. You set up alarms, I can't put them on snooze. Saving your shots, I'm letting them loose. All of my haters can hang at the nose. Mama just know, your son ain't no goon. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Watch you talk, watch how you move. I never trust the loudest in the room. I know it's hard, that ain't no news. You set up alarms, I can't put them on snooze. Saving your shots, I'm letting them loose. All of my haters can hang at the nose. Mama just know, your son ain't no goon. But I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta do it.
I ain't coming home, been all low. Always a bad time, yeah. You got them bad vibes, yeah. Diamonds look bad ties, yeah. I'm not a bad guy. Fuck on my face when I walk in. I don't do compliments. I know intentions, I'm competent. Using me for my accomplishments. Remember when my homie overdosed? Fed till all in your nose, yeah. You never hit my phone. I was trying to call. I am strong. It's not my time to go. Let's get it poppin'. Please check Doc Martens. Yeah, Jorden, that's my bro. I was all alone. I ain't never fall. These the pain would go.
Watch how you talk, watch how you move. I never trust the loudest in the room. I know it's hard, that ain't no news. You set up alarms, I can't put them on snooze. Saving your shots, I'm letting them loose. All of my haters can hang at the nose. Mama just know, your son ain't no bloom. But I gotta do what I gotta do. Watch how you talk, watch how you move. I never trust the loudest in the room. I know it's hard, that ain't no news. You set up alarms, I can't put them on snooze. Saving your shots, I'm letting them loose. All of my haters can hang at the nose. Mama just know, your son ain't no bloom. But I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah. That was Vultures, featuring Shabazz from Jorden Kyle.
Yes, sir.
That was a slapper.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. It's a little hidden gem of the catalog, so I'm glad you picked that one.
Yeah, nah, definitely like Free Play Radio, bro. Like I go through the artist catalog and just see what I like from it. Like a lot of the songs can be great songs,
Yep.
but what invokes emotion to me?
Right.
And especially when I play them, I want to feel them.
Of course.
You feel me? So
Yep.
these were the ones that I was for sure just
perfect.
fucking with, that I put on a playlist.
Yeah, I saw a
and-
couple of them, bro. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you dug pretty deep.
Yeah,
so
nah,
I appreciate that. I
definitely.
appreciate that.
So you say you got an album coming.
Yes,
Is
glad
there
you asked.
is there any details we can get on the album?
Yeah, of course,
'Cause I was
man.
looking for a project on
course.
Apple Music.
Yeah, so I'm in the pre-project phase, but the project is done. You know,
Okay.
I just wrapped it up. I think I sent the last song to DEO like 2 weeks ago. So
Okay.
It's done. It feels good. I'm glad it's over. You know, it was a fun process, but goddamn, I'm glad it's over.
Right.
You know, it's very like, it's stressful to work on a project, you know, because that's your baby as an artist, you know, and that's the story that you want to tell. And I would consider myself a bit of a perfectionist.
Okay.
But the project, to get into, is called Enigma.
Okay.
And to keep it a bug, I've been working on it since like late 2018. That's when I made cut the first songs where I was like, okay, this is the vibe I'm gonna go for. I think it's important to catch a certain vibe, catch a sound before you build it into something, you know, structural. Because if the album, it's, you know, you call it, you know, albums, mixtapes, playlists. If I'm gonna call something an album, like a project under my belt,
Yeah.
you're gonna be ranked off that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your discography is gonna be judged.
Yes.
And I had to make sure I was confident in the sound before I pushed it. But yeah, it's called Enigma. I think we're aiming to get it out the 3rd or 4th week of August, so sometime around, you know, weekend, like month and a week from now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's got a bunch of dark melodic trap on it. It's got some crazy like EDM style stuff on it.
Okay.
A lot of beat switches.
Okay.
You know, I'm a big Baby Keem fan, so he did a lot
Okay,
of beat
for
switches on the
sure.
melodic blues. So that really inspired me to like, I wanted to start a song and then by the end of it have it feel completely different.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like switching songs, for me at least, I'm very like dedicated music listener. I feel like that kind of takes me out of the experience when you have to switch a song to get to a different vibe. But having to just go right into it,
Yeah.
it's a really special feeling. So I wanted to like evoke that, a little bit of that in the project.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be 10 tracks. I'm super proud of it. I really think a lot of my life is gonna change once people hear it.
Nah, that's dope.
definitely
Is
confident
this your
in it.
first project? It's like a debut or?
So under Jorden Kyle, yes, I put out projects before when I was much younger, before I found my sound, but I would consider this my debut
Okay.
for sure.
For sure. So what do you feel like are some of the major components of some of your favorite classic debut albums?
Debut albums, man. You know what? The one that comes to mind is Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
the
you
first-
mentioned 50 Cent.
Yeah, that's because that's the first rap album I ever listened to. You know,
Okay.
My mom, she used to work over in Livermore, and we were living in Tracy at the time, and you know, we drive over the hill, over the Altamont, and she had the tape. I don't know who gave it to her. I don't know, like, 'cause she don't really listen to hip hop like
Yeah.
that. But she just
It's
listened.
just random. You supposed, honestly, I'm a spiritual person,
That's-
bro.
yeah.
You were supposed to listen to the album,
Yeah,
and it was supposed to change your life.
of course.
It'll change your
Of
perspective.
course.
And it's like, what did you want to grow up? Like before it was a rapper, what would you say you wanted to do before then?
I want to be a professional skateboarder, bro.
Yeah. So it was like, it's kind of skateboarding, hip hop. It's
You know,
all
just
kind of
being
the same
active,
culture,
bro.
all
Being
of the
out
same
there.
umbrella.
Yeah, hip hop and skateboarding is very intertwined, you know, and like I feel like through the late stages of me skating, you know, I would branch out and leave my town and go to different parks. I used to go to skate camp in the summer, you know, and like the last year I went there, we stayed in a cabin with Tony Hawk's son, Spencer,
Damn.
and everything. So we were just kicking it, you know, and like, but like I feel like listening to hip hop and everything really, or like skating really influenced my enjoyment of hip hop, you know, because like I mentioned, like we both mentioned a minute ago, like they're so intertwined and so much of the culture is crossover, you know, so I feel like it's, I mean, you have like people like Lil Wayne who skate, you
Yeah,
know, and like
exactly.
two amazing cultures, bro. Like if you can find yourself falling in either of those, I feel like you're saved for life. You're blessed. You have a community. You have a sense of being, a sense of calling. I'm glad I pulled out of skating. I'm not too into the injuries that come with it.
Yeah.
But there's some mental injuries that come with this music shit.
Yeah,
But it's, it's all part of the game. So
yeah, that's facts.
Of course.
You mentioned Enigma. That's the title of your album.
Yes, sir.
But as I was going through your catalog, I seen. Was it like your brand, or is it your record label, or what does Enigma mean to you?
So yeah, the term enigma means something that's very difficult to understand. That may not be like the textbook word for word definition, but I've always felt that way. Coming into music, I'm a white boy. I'm not gonna hide from that.
Gotcha.
I look a little different. Like I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. So I feel like just based on who I am, I'm misunderstood a little bit. And I'm not trying to come in here and flex and say I'm this motherfucker who been through some shit.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to make some good music that creates an experience for the listener. And I feel like a lot of people who are misunderstood, they try to evoke those emotions and those frustrations into something concrete. For me, that's song. For someone else, that may be painting, poetry, anything, writing. So I feel like the album was just me kind of coming to grips with who I am. I feel like I was misunderstood. I didn't even know who I was before I started working on the album.
Yeah.
I feel like I really found myself this last January when I started cooking shit up in my own crib.
Yeah.
So like you really get to like sit down. I spend a lot of time alone. I'm not out here going to bars every weekend. I party, me and Aaron, we do shit, but like, I'm not out here every weekend trying to see what's cracking in the city or nothing. I'm in the house cooking up, bro. I'm learning, I'm evolving, and like I think right now is the best. My mind is sharp, so I'm trying to learn as much as I can so I can take that into my future. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how it came about. I felt misunderstood, found myself through the project, and this is the tale of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned that I know that you're a producer.
Right.
What are the parallels in being a rapper and a producer? Because I feel like a lot of the discord just online and even just in the music industry between producers and rappers or singers is, one wants to get paid, the other one just kind of wants to work. So what are like the parallels of it, and what do you feel like they can learn from each other? Definitely.
So two aspects of that. One, you mentioned money, getting paid. Yes, the money is important, but I feel like learning production has driven my creativity in being an artist. I think, it's great to step into a session, have a pre-made beat from someone. I think collaboration is very important. To any artists that are listening, tuning in, collaboration is important. Do not be a recluse. It's going to fuck up your creativity. I have to say that. But being by yourself at times and learning that production makes you a better artist. You cannot be a shitty rapper if you know how to produce.
Yeah.
It's all timing. It's all lines on a screen. It's all mathematics. So I think if you're looking at it from that aspect, that's how they intertwine. Those are the parallels there. But I think, dabbling more into production this past year has made me just want to go harder as an artist, because it's like, bro, I sat here for 5 hours and made this. Yeah. I can't be ass on this beat. I gotta go crazy on it. So
it makes you up the ante a bit.
Exactly, man. It's like, it's one thing to like say, oh yeah, I wrote this, I sang this, I recorded this, and this is homie's beat. But if you can say you sat down for 10 hours, dedicated like a whole day or a whole weekend, whole month to cooking up something, that's life right there, man. Yeah. That's like my lifeblood. So
yeah, definitely. Me and my cousin Troy, we always like have these like basketball analogies when we compare music, and what you just explained to me is kind of like going one-on-one with yourself.
Of course.
And it kind of raises you to to raise the bar.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, if my raps are better than this beat, I need to make a better beat, and if my raps aren't as good as this beat, I need to go back to the drawing board.
Right. And I think one thing I do want to add, and I hope like this can, inspire some people to pick up production if they've already been an artist, is I think the hardest part of me picking up production over the years, I was in denial. I was like, I'm already at this stage in my artistry. I can already rap. I'm on beat. I got the lyrics. I got the freestyling down. I can sing. It was difficult for me to take that back to the drawing board. I was like fighting with my ego a little bit, because I was like, if I'm gonna step into production, I'm not gonna know anything.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a lot of learning. You got to learn the software. You got to learn the terminology, and you got to sit there.
No, that's
you can write sometimes in 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little while, but production, you can't rush it.
That's true.
You can hear if it's rushed.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely hear the rush.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was tricky for me. I had to fight with my own ego on that one. I feel like I'm very egotistical. I'm trying to get out of it, but at the end of the day, I feel like that fuels a hungry artist. You got to have a little bit of that. It's healthy to have a good balance.
No, definitely.
But yeah, those are the parallels there. Just learning both has made me more inspired. I feel more interconnected to my craft.
Right. Okay. For sure. No, I appreciate that. You got another record I want to get into, Quiet Nights.
Yes, sir. It's one of my favorites.
Okay. Yep. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Yeah. Actually, before you get into that.
Sure.
What compels you to release a record? do you feel like I love this record, or I feel like people would love it, or I feel like they would connect with it? Is it a trendy thing? And this is just me, a genuine question.
Of course. This is an interesting answer I got for you. So I think there is beauty in being distant. You know, and I see a lot of people, they're always trying to be very present. You know, what's going on this weekend? We got to meet up. And I used to be like that. I was always looking for a function to go to. I was always looking for a plan. But now I feel like what compels me to release music and release art is I want people to know what I've been up to when I've been silent. You know, I want people to be like, oh, shit, so he's really been in tune with himself. And that's what 2022 has been all about for me so far, is being in tune with myself and in tune with my craft. And, you know, you can ask anyone in my close relation, like, I don't stop working on this. It's all day, all night for me. I eat, sleep, breathe it. So, yeah, I would say that's it right there.
Okay.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Quiet Nights, Jorden Kyle.
Let's do it.
I need someone to tell me I'm doing alright. Dreams turn to dust. Your aura is bright. Fortune of truth, take me away from my life. Baby girl, tear through space and time. It was never my intention to change your mind. I'm not someone to idolize. Need you to out here every day, won't have it any other way. They got a lot to say, they won't say it to my face. Damn, I'm moving forward, yeah. Had to take a risk, they gon' be convinced I'm on some other shit, yeah. Don't got time to wait, gotta get up on my way. Seems like every day she just getting in my face, girl. I'm moving forward, yeah. In this world of sin, shawty perfect 10, but I will make amends, yeah. You forgot the rules of the game. I'm tryna live a life where there ain't no damn restraints, but they just wanna hate, then we'll just obey. They speak on my name before they've ever seen my face. Damn, it's such a shame, but I refuse to fight it. Cause when I love me, that's when everything ignited. My nights are private, I'm feeling enlightened. All these tides are rising and I'm feeling vibrant. I can't do nothing to change it, so I chose to embrace it. I know I once was your favorite, but we cannot keep complaining. Those nights were filled with